What up? What up? Sorry about the slight delay. I had to. I was on the phone. Super tips. I was on the phone making a dentist appointment. Oh yeah. Super tips is up. Should be pinned. And whew. All right. Are we live? We're broadcasting live. Yes. Anybody out there? What a day. What a day. Got a big announcement to make today. Not today. Ass frog. GFY N-word. So, yeah, I'm 4 minutes late. My apologies if anybody's out there. Come on in. Oh, well, I was originally Peanut Butter Grillo. I love you, but Duke's on. Dude, I'm on here. I'm this close to getting 3,000 hours. It's all good. Sheila is live. Bad timing. I needed to get some time in. I understand that. The Duke's on, but I am very close to. Shuli is live. Bad timing. It's okay. I appreciate everybody jumping in. I didn't realize everybody went on that late. It's 8 o'clock or something. So I know these guys are all combating each other for airtime. Vito Calzone. No, I haven't been on yesterday. I couldn't even talk. I had a bad toothache, and as it continues. How many hours do you have that you are close to 3K? I have 2994. So I'm just trying to. I'm this close to getting super chats, and I just wanted to come on. And also, I have an announcement. I have a big guest on Thursday. I didn't realize how much controversy it was. It's good. It's not the big guest I've been alluding to, but I have someone coming on Thursday that I guess is going to shake a couple of cages. I don't mean to be like pissing people off here, but I don't need these on. I have a big screen now. So I definitely have over, I'm close to 4,000 followers. Yeah, no. I wish he would punch me in the face, I got to be honest with you, because it needs to go. I'm going to the dentist early tomorrow morning. If everybody's had to deal with a toothache before, so I'm dealing with a toothache. And I do have a big announcement for Thursday. I don't know if I think good old Oscar Electric has been very good to me. He's been posting shit. I think he started putting it up, but I'll let some people come in. It's going to be, if you have close to 4K subscribers, there are at least 10 here that what does that tell you? Well, not every 4K subscriber is on my channel right now. That's okay. I had thank you there, OJ Pimpson, much appreciated. I had to my truck has been at the shop since Friday. I now have a fully functional truck. My oil was leaking into my engine, so every time I pulled out, it looked like Uncle Buck without the bang. But I got this really great pickup truck. It's old. It's got 225,000 miles on it. But it is pretty goddamn dope, and I never had a pickup. I haven't had a car since 1989, because that's when I moved into Manhattan. Well, 1990, really, but not that makes a difference. And it took me a while. It took me a while to get used to driving regularly again. Haven't done that since I was 16, and now I have a big truck and driving in new neighborhoods, and I have to admit, the first couple of months, it took me a while to get used to the car, get used to driving, get used to the new neighborhoods, and not being extremely terrified every time I got behind a wheel, because the GPS told me to turn right way too late. And so I'm much more comfortable in my car now, car. Got to get used to that too. But unlike me, my car is now firing on all cylinders. So, but I'm just going on here for like another half an hour. If I talk to myself, I talk to myself. Shuli and John are probably on at the same time. I think it's on purpose. So I was supposed to be on at 5 o'clock, and then I had to make an appointment. I can't take this pain anymore. I've been up since like 3 o'clock in the morning, but I do have somewhere to go. I do still talk to Jack. Yo, and here we go. First super tip of the day. We got. Oh, I got to go to this page, right? This one. And super tip. Played. So, yeah, I really need someone here. Duke said you'll pay for going live at the same time. No, he won't because I didn't know he was live. So, but anonymous, thank you for your $3 tip. Jackie is still mad at you and John made fun of his stroke. Well, hello Ryan, nice to see you, Mr. Angry. Thank you for the super tip. So no, Jackie's not mad. It was I don't know. I don't think John did it on purpose, but I don't think he genuinely knew that. Sorry, I'll put Ryan up there. No, we didn't make fun of his stroke. At least I didn't. There's nothing fun about it. But no, it was something that just happened by accident, and he was mad, but he's not mad anymore. So, Grillo opinion on pedo accusations against Cumia. He explained it on my show, and I believe that if you go back and listen to it, well, I didn't say that. No, well, maybe in private, but Jackie's doing better than me, that's for sure. Hey, Casper, how you doing, man? So, yeah, it's there's no animosity between me and Jackie whatsoever. I spoke to him last week. He will be a guest on my show, but that's not the big guest I'm alluding to. And I do have an announcement. I'll make it at 6 o'clock, and then I will bid you. I'm trying to hit 3,000 so I could apply for super chats. Yeah. I will show this because it's true. Jackie is doing fantastic and sober and in much better shape than me, that's for sure, and John all put together. But I love Jackie the Joke Man. He's going to be coming on. He did a collaboration with a friend of mine. They have a new product coming out. You'll be able to get 250 jokes of Jackie's on his gotta shut my phone off on this new product. It's going to be fun, but I want the product to be ready and able to come out and be okay for them to. You can buy it online, but so yeah, I haven't had a car since Friday or a truck since Friday, and last night I couldn't even go to a store to get aspirin, so I had to tough it out all night. So much pain, no toe, the pain of it all. Thursday, I'm going to announce a guest in a little while, but I appreciate, he didn't fall out of his chair, he fell into his chair. So, and that was like 10 years ago. So, but if I am able to monetize on my YouTube, that's another step in the right direction for the task I was given. So I am able to prove myself by coming here on the Dabblefish and putting my neck out on the line with you fine people. Ain't that right, Ryan? But I don't know. When John goes on, does John just go on and babble every night? I usually like to have a purpose when I come on or a guest. I'm gonna have one of my first podcast co-host on Thursday night. We're going to go over some of the first podcasts we did way before anybody else was podcasting and how he got thrown off. It was called Hard Rock Radio Live. And, how do we go? Got to go back and find this. Are you still in contact with anybody from Stern? No. Where is it? Top Shelf Liquor. Sorry, I want to. Beats. Hey, Beats. I want to get you off of here. Sorry. Anyway, it's all right. Hide. So, but I appreciate everybody coming on just for this brief little time. Casper Brisby, that was unfortunately a casualty of COVID. I put up on my YouTube channel yesterday the very first show I had in the studio. It was probably one of the first people. I would say I was one of the first podcasts that had cameras. If you go back, this is way before everybody was doing a podcast. And I just happened to have a very good friend that happened to have a studio that happened to be a couple blocks from me where I lived in Hell's Kitchen. And they were the first people that sort of started podcasting in their studio. They had somebody there that had been on the pulse of podcasting, and he wasn't a very nice guy. He actually went away for pedophilia, but he knew what he was doing as far as podcasts went. And I happened to be there at the same time, and my buddy said, "Let Steve start podcasting there." So I did. I had a couple of big guests. Like I had, God, I don't even want to think of her name right now because it's another story. Sean Young was one of my first guests who happened to become she became my roommate for a while, and there was no sex involved, believe me. And if I did have sex with her, it's nothing to brag about. But she did live with me for about 4 or 5 months until I threw her out. All those stories you hear about people being crazy in Hollywood, she is 100% batshit fucking crazy. I met her through Jackie the Joke Man. We became friends, and I had needed a roommate, and she said she sort of backdoored me. She said, "My son's looking to move to New York. I'll pay his rent if he." And I was like, "Sure." His son was really cool, nice kid. So I had a 2-bedroom apartment on 51st Street, and Sean Young moved her son in, and he was there for probably like 3 or 4 months, and then all of a sudden, taking some shrapnel. Yeah, so all of a sudden, she said that she literally kicked her son out and sent him back home, and she moved in one weekend, and I came in, and not only my whole apartment was rearranged with all my shit taken down without even her asking. She went into my room. Now, I've been a roommate with Mike Ganji. I live with my ex-wife. After that, I did a lot of different things with different people that I live with, but there was always an unspoken rule if you have somebody that you live with that's a roommate, at least in my world, is that you just don't go into other people's bedrooms without asking. I never went into Ganji's room unless he knew about it, and vice versa. And any other roommate I had, it was vice versa. You just don't go into other people's rooms unless they know you're doing it. And when I came home that weekend and she had moved herself in, she went into my bedroom. And not only did she rearrange everything, all the decorations, or just whatever artwork I had outside in the living room and in the kitchen, she took them all and stashed them and hid them in my closet, which I didn't know. I didn't find them until I left. I thought she threw them out. She went in and redecorated my room, which means she had to stand on my bed to get a lot of this shit because it wasn't a big room. My bed was pretty big. It took up most of the room, and she took shit off my wall in my bedroom, moved shit around in my bedroom, and it freaked me the fuck out. And I was like livid, and then, it was sort of a weird thing. And one night, about 3 months into her living there, she was stone cold drunk on my couch and passing out. And I just had worked a really long day that day. I think I was working on some movie or something. And she was just belligerently sitting on my couch. And I was like, listen, I just worked a really long day. Could you go lay down? I want to chill out and smoke a joint and watch TV. And she was like, fuck you. Fuck you. Go fuck yourself. I'll do whatever the fuck I want. And I said, okay, that's it. I went outside. I called her husband. I was like, you need to get her shit out of here as soon as possible. I guess that was, I guess she was in New York trying to get some acting work, which she can never do. I was there. If you remember that she was on the cover of the newspaper, she got busted stealing a director's hard drive, and that was her son, and that was the time that she was living in my apartment. So I had some very interesting times with Sean Young. But she was one of my first big podcast guests. I thought that was pretty cool. But then I didn't realize that she also shanghaied my friend to hire her son, and she said that she would secretly pay her son's salary, and she never did. And my friend wound up paying about $9,000 in salary to her son that she was supposed to pay him, and then she stiffed him on the $9,000. So it is on the fire mantle. Did they move it? It's right there. Hold on. It's right over there. It's right over my shoulder. Put your book on the fireplace where people can see it. It could help sales. I do appreciate that, James Nixon, 5301. Much appreciated, but it's right there. I thought it was in plain view, but I guess it's not. Turn this around. And maybe it's it's right there. Gorilla Parts is available on Amazon and Audible. If you haven't seen it, take a look at the reviews before you even order it. Drunk actresses are hot. Yeah, but unfortunately, Sean Young is not anymore. I definitely had that crush when she did Stripes, but not anymore. Nate Higgers, boy, you cutting it close there, buddy. I'm not even going to do that. A Prosecco and Palm still around? Woo, you are a fan, Ryan. You're a harsh fan, but you are a true fan. No, Prosecco and Palms is not around, unfortunately. The person got married to a very wealthy person and is now the mother of 2 children. Why do no, that picture is a joke. It's my buddy and the person who owns the studio, Richard Prinzi at Professional Tax Alliance. I put it up there just because it freaks him out. It's an ongoing joke, but he's up there. Yeah, that's no. I'm not roommates with the accountant guy. I have I live in a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2-car garage condo all by myself, and it's cheaper than when I was playing in New York. I have a pool downstairs. I have a little patio that I like to chill out at night, smoke a joint, and I have a huge kitchen. No, I am not his roommate, and you don't shit where you eat anyway. No, I like to be on my own. Don't need a roommate anymore for the first time in my life, and I appreciate it. God bless money laundering. Yeah, no, doesn't happen like that, bud. But if you do need a good tax accountant, he's the man. So everybody that he works with is high. They're top shelf. I gotta say, top shelf. I've been hearing that a lot where I never heard it before. Like it was like top shelf was like a bartender thing, and I became infamous because of the Tracy fight with Top Shelf Liquor, and they. Now all of a sudden I hear commercials. It's in commercials, and now I hear other people calling other people douche. And I can't say that, that's definitely Howard Stern's influence 100%, but those 2 words are synonymous with 2 things that I did. Well, one thing what I did, and 2 things became synonymous because of it. And now I hear that, douche is being used on TV shows. Top Shelf is being used on commercials. No, that's just they're his family. I guess we should probably start taking those things down. So, all right, it's getting close to 6 o'clock. I'm going to announce what's happened on Thursday. I'll answer some more questions, and maybe this will put me over the top. Thursday, I'll be live. Tomorrow, I got to figure out the schedules. I know you can go live anytime. I'm not trying to steal anybody away. They're much more controversial than me. I bring controversial people on, but I'm not the only controversy I have. I got to make a public apology to Cardiff because I mistakenly put someone in the category of karmic and Cardiff. I actually like Cardiff. I have heard nothing but good things about him. I did the show. He was the potato, which I should be the potato. Not for nothing, but I'll let you slide on that one, buddy. But I might have mistakenly put Cardiff in the same context as Karmics, and I am. They are worlds apart. One is a really nice guy and a professional podcaster, and the other one's a psycho that likes to yell into a microphone and is extremely I have some people keep sending me all this crap about him crying on the air and shit like that, and I don't understand how that goes, where you gotta cry on the air. Ooh, ah, ha, da. Don't get that JD trash. But well, 6 more minutes, and then I'm going to. Karmic is a scumbag, and Cardiff is not. Cardiff is successful, and Karmic is not. So I got to be careful not to start another war that I don't want. I don't want the war with Karmics anyway, but he has a big, stupid mouth, and he likes to run it. And he can run it all he wants. He's not going to get any satisfaction out of me. He's just wasting his breath. But I heard he lives a very sheltered life in someplace in Minnesota, some town and 100 people, and never is afraid to get on a plane or went on a plane for the first time and got laid at 42, which is pathetic. I've been getting laid for a very long time, and I don't have too much left on my sex bucket list, but I can get creative. He was looking for the keys before. What is that? Is your roommate home? Vito, no, I don't have a roommate. There is nobody here. I have the place to myself. But if you want, I can do a show from my condo maybe tomorrow or Thursday night. I might do it. And I will give you a virtual tour of my new apartment. If you guys want to do sort of like a MTV Cribs, I will do that Thursday night because I have the announcement coming up in 5 minutes. Who's coming on Thursday? It'll be 12:30 New York time, and I guess 9:30 my time. So it's going to be good. I didn't realize that this person was nice enough to call me because I spoke about them on the air the other day, I believe on John's show, and I was very complimentary only because I meant it and it's true. And they reached out to me and said they heard that I said nice things about them. And I said, well, there's no way I could say bad things about them because I just think they're both two great people. But, and he said, I guess in return, as a nice way, he said, well, I'll come on your show and there's something that he wants to talk about. So when I announce his name, we can talk about that, and then I'll have to get out of here. No, I don't. I've been obsessed with Karmic's first kiss was his. Hold on a second. Oyster R. Karmic's first kiss was his mother at the annual Mother's Sundance. Oh Christ! And I have no pictures of my accountant friend Richard in my apartment, but. JJ Thrash, that's not a bad idea. I know I have it somewhere. I'm going to find it. I have the trailer for my TV pilot that never made it, but I would love to show it to you guys. Explain. Someone said I should do a Patreon for it. And Ryan, Richie Wilson. Okay, it's close enough. It's not too hard to find. Nasty Meal and Oscar Electric. Both are putting it up on Twitter. Yes, Richie Wilson will be on my show Thursday, 12:30 New York time, and 9:30 my time. I guess I got to get up early on Thursday, so I wasn't aware of his ongoing feud. With Shuli. But again, I'm trying to be the neutral ground here. You can say what you want. I'm not going to be able to jump in and say anything bad. The only person I have anything bad to say is about that wacko in Minnesota. But Richie Wilson will be on here. He said he recently had a talk with Gary Dell'Abate in reference to the Pelican Brief, and he wants to come on here and tell his side of the story. So I will have an exclusive with Richie Wilson Thursday at 12:30. I wanted to come on here and talk about that. Ryan, Mr. Nasty, the pilot of your trailer is my favorite. Thank you, bud. I will have it up here. Upgrade is, I couldn't get the D at the DMV because someone already had Upgrade. Upgrade is the name of my cat. And I thought it was kind of cool. So, anyway, I got that. But today was sort of a typo anyway. But Richie Wilson will be on my show. I was talking, something came up on, I guess, John's show, and I said that Richie and his wife, Rachel, were just wonderful, awesome people, and they are extremely successful. They are doing such big things. Don't be surprised if you see Giggle Waters all over the United States. I think they should, Richie. Yeah, no, Howard Stern is just as good. Richie's been nothing but a good friend over the years. We're both Star Wars geeks. We both like tattoos. And he married the love of his life, Rachel Fine, who's an absolutely beautiful woman. And successful business people. And they're going to be on here to talk about Giggle Waters and I guess the Pelican Brief. Or I guess he said something about somebody leaked a video of Ronnie's wedding. And it's just not cool when people do shit like that. I know someone did that to somebody, I guess Jackie. Somebody did it to Jackie too. It's really just awful when people break their trust when you invite them into your house and then they sit there. I know someone did that to John as well. No. I doubt Howard Stern would be on here. Let's do this. I need someone to do this with me. I got this one, super tips. Answer this honestly. If you were this is by Voltaire. If you were the one reading the questions that Jackie and Fred wrote for Stuttering John, would you have been able to do it? I think I think not only could I say I think I would, but I did. I've gotten beat up by Spike Lee's bodyguards. Yes, Ryan Shittens as well. So yes, I did several interviews for Howard. I did after John left. I did the MTV Awards. I asked a bunch of Yankees a bunch of questions with Artie. Thought it was hysterical. Unplayed. Okay, played. Much appreciated for all the super tips. I asked Derek Jeter if he'd ever had his head frozen like Ted Williams, and he got me thrown out of the party. But meanwhile, it was a Jorge Posada event, and Jorge Posada answered every question on the sheet. And Derek Jeter threw a little hissy fit and had me thrown out. I also did the MTV carpets where I could only get 1 or 2 questions out. So the main question I asked was, whose panties smell better, Nelly Furtado's or Britney Spears? Where I did get the question off to Nelly Furtado, and she said her panties definitely smell better than Britney Spears. And, got another super tip. Unplayed. Oh, we got that one. Played. I hope I don't want to miss anybody. But I appreciate the super tips, everybody. It helps. But, it's nerve-wracking, but I will say at the same time, asking celebrities whacked out questions is nerve-wracking but exhilarating. It is like $5. Did I put this one up? It says unplayed. No, that's played, unplayed. And I answered that on to Voltaire. Don't want to forget anybody. But I did a great job until I had an incident where a friend of mine flew me out to the video music. No, not excuse me, the AVNs, and I had an incident happen right before I hit the red carpet where somebody that I knew, I just met, they OD'd right before I went to the red carpet, and we got the phone call. It was a friend of mine's girlfriend. She disappeared. She came out Thursday night. She disappeared Friday night, and about an hour before I went to the red carpet, someone called up and they found her OD'd. And this girl's clothes and her pictures of her kid were all over the place, and it wasn't an easy thing to find out an hour before you go to the red carpet. So I was a mess. I couldn't talk about it, and I did the AVN Awards, and I forgot. I don't know. One of the microphones wasn't on, and basically I didn't get anything, and that was the last time I did any celebrity interviews for the Howard Stern Show, even though the 3 things that I did beforehand were absolutely stone cold home runs, and they just stopped using me. Well, I could say, hold on, I'll put this question up. I could say that I'm more friends with Shuli because Shuli's never done anything wrong to me. But I also will say I'm different because I've hung out and done more things with John outside of the radio life or any other things. I've gone out with him and we've done some amazing we had some amazing adventures together. But John, as everybody knows, has been spoken about. He's basically had some issues with me where there are times that he hasn't spoke to me. I would say 3 or 4 times over the years, and so that's most true. I can't. So, but he, we've had our ups and downs, but this is like I've said it before. I'll say it again. This is the first time in our friendship that I actually feel like he considers me a friend. So I sort of waited a long time for something like that to happen, and I'm not going to try to blow it, but I do see what everybody's saying. I watched that documentary. I couldn't even really watch the whole thing. It started getting me like sick to my stomach, but there's no reason for me to be at war with John. It's not anything that says fear, but he has his own demons, and that's his business, and it's not my business, and it doesn't affect me. But every time I go on his show or he came on here once, it's been a lot of fun. So and it's fun that I could actually like break his balls back because like a lot of people have noticed it's like he doesn't take that well. We got Pan Jam. Yeah, John was like a big brother to me, but sort of like it was one of those step big brothers that just saw you as in I don't know if he didn't like the other attention. Howard had me in a lot, and it was interesting. And then a book was dedicated to me, and I don't know, maybe that kind of irked him the wrong way. He's out there putting his neck out on the line every day, getting beat up by people, and all of a sudden I get a book dedicated to me. I never got any animosity directly from John because of that, because the animosity was already there. And there were points where we would get into, he would break my balls so bad, and I was like this angry little kid. And Gary was like, he always had to sit in Howard's desk. Once Howard got off of his desk, John was the only person allowed to sit there. And if he got up and you went in the chair to say answers, phone calls and stuff, as soon as he came back in the room, John had to sit in the seat. You had to get up. And then, then it was just constant badgering and ball breaking. And then there were moments where Gary would be sitting across from us and his back was there, and he would be turned around and be like, "Will you guys shut the fuck up?" But yeah, he made it hard to work there, but we did have some good times together, and it's that's all in the past, and here we are now. No, I'm not 58 years old. I'm 53. It was pretty funny when my book came out, Gorilla Parts, about a year ago. The New York Post did like a 2-page article on me, and the guy the author of the article asked me how old I was, and then I think he panicked at the last minute and I mistakenly looked up John's age, not my age, and put me up as 58 years old in the Post. And he felt so bad he was going to print the retraction, and I said, "You know what? It's okay. I look good for a 58-year-old, I guess so. But no, I'm only 53, so I'm much younger than John. And I was a child when I started working on the Howard Stern Show. I literally just graduated high school a year before I started working there, and I was a kid. And just answer Z. I don't know what you're talking about there. How do you say Mostrot? I don't know how you pronounce that. Mostrot. I guess it has something to do with John. He's got his hands over his ears. Okay. Well, Terry wants to know what I do, John. John, whoa, I haven't eaten since yesterday, so because of my toothache, I'm afraid that if I eat something, it's going to make it worse. If anybody's just tuning in, I have a raging toothache, And I would say that there's a reason why I did a lot of what I did, because John wasn't good at like just right. John was good at being in front of the camera and answering crazy questions to celebrities, but everything else in the office sort of fell on my neck. And if John was gifted a task, say by Gary, of things to do, as soon as I left the room, it was suddenly gifted to me. So I always equated John as sort of like Tom Sawyer. He got everybody to whitewash his fence for him and made you feel that you were obligated to do his job, which is brilliant in my word. But it's okay. The reason for the chipmunk cheeks? Yeah, I need to lose about. So reason for the chipmunk cheeks? I need to lose like weight. I'm not going to answer that kinky loco. That's just pretty obvious. So, but no, I've gained weight. It was sort of the past year was not. It wasn't rough like financially, but I was just stuck in a really bad apartment and sort of chasing my tail for a while. And I broke out of New York around last June, and just spent the summer upstate at my place, and decided to do absolutely nothing and just eat, drink, and get fat. So, and I just have no desire to go to the gym whatsoever. I was a wrestler. I've been training since I was 13 years old. I wrestled 4 years in high school, 2 years in college, then became a gym rat. And then I started coaching wrestling, which I, when I coached, I wasn't exactly just the one blowing the whistle. I was on the mat schooling the kids and getting them better because, I was in much better shape. I was in my young 30s, mid 30s, and I did that for 5 years. And then after that, I have no desire to go back to the gym, and I'm just a lazy ass. Oh, people asking some goofy questions, trying to get me recently in trouble. I'm not gonna fall for that. But I just okay. I did my. I'm gonna go to about 40 minutes. I think that'll put me over 3,000 on YouTube, so I can start getting super chats along with my super tips. Well, since you always throw me a super tip, well, Terry, I will say James Gandolfini. It's well publicly known that he did have a problem. He didn't show up to work for a couple of days, threw off the shooting schedule. Jimmy had a lot of pressure on his shoulders, and also he was like anybody else. He liked to go out and have some fun, but being as talented, sometimes those talented people have bigger demons around their neck than everybody knows. So. But Gandolfini, I will say again, I don't know personally Jim Gandolfini being an addict. I just know that a couple of times, so a couple of times it was fun to be out and around him. So this guy is just getting meaner and meaner. Who's likely to win a fight? The 53-year-old, the 60-year-old alcoholic dwarf? I don't know. If fights go, anybody can win a fight at the last minute. I will say with Ozone, the best thing to mix with Doritos is pickles. If you ever have a pickle and a Dorito, it is by far one of my favorite things when I'm in the mood. You can't wait for Ryan can't wait for super chats. Oh well, I will should be able to be over the mark by the time I get out of here. Ryan, he wants. No, actually, Ryan James Gandolfini's stand-in was not an addict. He was actually a nice, really a big guy by the name of Hans. And believe it or not, Edie Falco's stand-in was named Heidi. So it was kind of funny that both their stand-ins were Hans and Heidi, and they both were in German. Woof, my stomach is wicked going crazy, starving right now. So, all right, I'm about 40 minutes in. I think I achieved my goal. I'll put Carlift Ecstatic. Huge fan from the old days. Glad to see you doing well, Steve. Thank you, young lady. That's very nice of you. So, okay, the big announcement is me, Richie Wilson, Thursday, 12:30 New York time, 9:30 my time. And that's what's going on. Richie Wilson will be on. He had a chat with Baba Booey, and I think it has to do about either he's going to discuss the leaking of the Pelican files. Apparently, he has something to say about it, so you should tune in definitely. One more Voltaire was Falco a slit seems like a Karen. Edie Falco was just as cool as Robin Quivers, both down to earth, easy to speak to people. But I will say I had a bizarre crush on Edie Falco. It was odd. I couldn't understand it, but it was there. And then she just got better. To me, got better looking with age. She had a pretty sick fucking body. She was like rock solid. And she was definitely someone that would sit outside. She smoked a lot, but she would sit outside and hang out with us. And I would sit and talk with her, and it was fun because she totally recognized. I was on the set of Nurse Jackie, and she walked by me, stopped, and looked at me, and she's like, "Oh my God, what are you doing here?" So it was kind of cool that she was always that awesome. Little fact, little tidbit. I'll leave you guys a little tidbit. She was, before she got on The Sopranos, she was a very well known day player actor, which means that she was on a lot of, she wasn't an extra. She was a featured actor that got paid as a paid actor, but only had like little bit parts, but she was very well known. And if you look at the scene in the movie, Private Parts, when Allison is going around looking with all those like other yentas in the car, in the back seat is a very young, unknown Edie Falco. I'll leave it off. Edie Falco is sexy as hell, but she's just as nice and down to earth as Robin Quivers. And Beats gets one last question. Robin was a fine chocolate with tasty melons. Just a very beautiful woman, one of my favorite people in the world. And I connected with Catherine Narducci on a dating app. She's another sexy woman. I've met her a bunch of times. Catherine Narducci she played, what was that, his name? Artie Bucco's wife. She's very sexy, Ryan. Yes, all right, everybody. I'm going to tap out right now. Hopefully, I'll be able to have super chats in a day or so. And hold on. Did I get this? Yeah, okay. That's about it, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll be back with more work. I got comedian Brian McCarthy next Monday. I got Richie Wilson on Thursday. I'm going to be doing a special Thursday night episode. And we got a lot coming up. Hopefully I'll be able to announce the guest on Friday. I'll reach out to them, and we'll pick a date next week. Hopefully it'll be great. Other than that, thanks everybody for tuning in, and you will see me soon.